Yes, far side box support is always required on a 1900 box installed in a drywall partition. The 2020 National Electrical Code, or NEC, requires it in Section 314.20. This section states that in walls and ceilings of gypsum board or other non-combustible material, boxes shall be securely fastened in place with approved supports. The purpose of far side box support is to prevent the box from being pushed into the wall cavity when devices are inserted or removed. Without proper support, the box can become loose and cause electrical problems. Drywall is not a structural material and cannot provide adequate support for a 1900 box. The contractor should install far side box support on all 1900 boxes installed in drywall partitions. Let's delve deeper into the requirements and rationale behind far side box support for 1900 boxes installed in drywall partitions according to the National Electrical Code. The NEC serves as the cornerstone for electrical safety in building construction. Its primary aim is to safeguard individuals and property from electrical hazard. Section 314 pertains specifically to outlet, device, pole, and junction boxes, conduit bodies, fittings, and handhole enclosures. Within Section 314, subsection 314.20 addresses the secure mounting of boxes. This section mandates that in walls and ceilings constructed of gypsum board or other non-combustible materials, boxes must be securely fastened in place utilizing approved supports. Now let's unpack the key elements of this requirement. Firstly, a 1900 box, also known as a 4-inch square box, is a common type of electrical box used for housing wiring connections, devices such as switches and receptacles, and for making splices. Secondly, drywall, or gypsum board, is a widely used building material for creating interior walls and ceilings. While it provides a smooth surface for finishing, it lacks the structural strength to independently support electrical boxes. Thirdly, approved supports refer to listed devices or methods specifically designed and tested to securely hold electrical boxes in place. These supports can take various forms, including far side supports, box mounting brackets, and other listed hardware. The rationale behind requiring far side box support stems from the need to maintain the integrity of electrical connections and prevent potential hazards. When devices like switches or receptacles are installed in a box, or when wiring connections are made, force is exerted on the box. Without adequate support, the box can be pushed backward into the wall cavity. This movement can have several adverse consequences. Firstly, it can strain the wiring connections within the box, potentially leading to loose connections, arcing, and even electrical fires. Secondly, it can make it difficult to properly seat devices flush with the wall surface, creating an unsightly and potentially unsafe installation. Thirdly, it can compromise the grounding of the electrical system, increasing the risk of electrical shock. The NEC requirement for secure box mounting aims to mitigate these risks by ensuring that boxes are firmly anchored in place. Far side supports are particularly effective because they provide support from the back side of the wall, preventing the box from being pushed inward. These supports typically consist of metal or plastic brackets that attach to the box and extend to the adjacent stud or framing member. When selecting and installing far side box supports, it is crucial to adhere to the manufacturer's instructions and ensure that the supports are properly listed for the intended application. The listing ensures that the supports have been tested and meet recognized safety standards. Moreover, it is essential to use the correct type and size of fasteners to attach the box to the support and the support to the stud or framing member. Over-tightening fasteners can damage the box or support, while under-tightening can compromise the security of the installation. In addition to far side supports, other approved methods for mounting boxes in drywall partitions include using box mounting brackets that attach directly to the studs or using specialized drywall anchors designed to support the weight of the box and its contents. Regardless of the method chosen, it is crucial to ensure that the box is securely fastened and cannot be easily dislodged. The assertion that drywall alone can provide adequate support for a 1900 box is incorrect and not compliant with the NEC. Drywall is a relatively weak material and is not designed to withstand the forces exerted on an electrical box during normal use. Relying solely on drywall for support can lead to the problems mentioned earlier, including loose connections, device instability, and grounding issues. In summary, the NEC mandates the use of approved supports, such as far side supports, for mounting 1900 boxes and drywall partitions to ensure the integrity of electrical connections, prevent potential hazards, and maintain the overall safety of the electrical system. Failure to comply with this requirement can result in code violations, safety risks, and potential liability. Now let's talk about some of the common problems that arise when 1900 boxes are improperly supported in drywall partitions. Firstly, loose connections are a frequent issue. When a box is not securely mounted, it can move and vibrate over time, especially when devices are operated or when the wall is subjected to impact. This movement can loosen the wire connections inside the box, leading to intermittent power outages, flickering lights, and even electrical arcing. Secondly, device instability is another common problem. When a box is not properly supported, devices such as switches and receptacles may not sit flush with the wall surface. This can make it difficult to operate the devices smoothly and can also create a tripping hazard. Thirdly, drywall damage can occur. If a box is pushed into the wall cavity due to inadequate support, it can damage the surrounding drywall. This can result in cracks, holes, and crumbling drywall, which can be unsightly and costly to repair. Fourthly, code violations are a significant consequence of improper box support. Electrical inspectors are trained to identify code violations, and failure to comply with the NEC requirements for box mounting can result in a failed inspection. This can delay the project and require costly rework. Fifthly, safety hazards are the most serious consequence of improper box support. Loose connections, device instability, and drywall damage can all create safety hazards, such as electrical shock, fire, and tripping hazards. These hazards can pose a significant risk to occupants and can result in serious injury or even death. To avoid these problems, it is essential to follow the NEC requirements for box mounting and use approved supports, such as far side supports, when installing 1900 boxes in drywall partitions. By taking the time to properly support electrical boxes, you can ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system and prevent costly problems down the road. Let's discuss some of the different types of far side box supports available and their applications. Firstly, there are adjustable far side supports. These supports feature an adjustable arm that extends from the box to the stud or framing member. The arm can be adjusted to accommodate different wall thicknesses, making them versatile for various applications. Secondly, there are fixed far side supports. These supports have a fixed arm length and are designed for specific wall thicknesses. They are typically less expensive than adjustable supports but may not be suitable for all applications. Thirdly, there are telescoping far side supports. These supports have a telescoping arm that can be extended or retracted to fit different wall thicknesses. They offer a good balance of versatility and affordability. Fourthly, there are plastic far side supports. These supports are made of durable plastic and are suitable for use in non-corrosive environments. They are typically less expensive than metal supports but may not be as strong. Fifthly, there are metal far side supports. These supports are made of steel or aluminum and are suitable for use in a wide range of environments. They are typically stronger than plastic supports but may be more expensive. When selecting a far side box support, it is important to consider the wall thickness, the weight of the devices and wiring that will be installed in the box, and the environmental conditions. It is also important to choose a support that is listed by a recognized testing laboratory, such as Underwriters Laboratories, or all, to ensure that it meets safety standards. In addition to far side supports, there are other types of box mounting brackets that can be used to secure 1900 boxes in drywall partitions. These brackets typically attach directly to the studs or framing members and provide a stable platform for the box. Some brackets also include features such as wire clamps and cable entry knockouts to simplify the wiring process. When installing box mounting brackets, it is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions and use the correct type and size of fasteners. It is also important to ensure that the bracket is securely attached to the stud or framing member and that the box is properly aligned. By using the appropriate box mounting hardware and following proper installation techniques, you can ensure that 1900 boxes are securely mounted in drywall partitions and that the electrical system is safe and reliable. Now let's consider some best practices for installing far side box supports. Firstly, before beginning any electrical work, always turn off the power to the circuit at the breaker box. This will help prevent electrical shock. Secondly, carefully measure the distance from the box to the stud or framing member. This will help you choose the correct size of far side support. Thirdly, attach the far side support to the box using the screws provided by the manufacturer. Make sure the support is securely attached to the box. Fourthly, extend the arm of the far side support to the stud or framing member. Make sure the arm is fully extended and that it is in contact with the stud or framing member. Fifthly, secure the arm of the far side support to the stud or framing member using screws or nails. Make sure the arm is securely attached to the stud or framing member. Sixthly, double check that the box is securely mounted and that it cannot be easily dislodged. Seventhly, after completing the electrical work, turn the power back onto the circuit at the breaker box. By following these best practices, you can ensure that far side box supports are installed correctly and that the electrical system is safe and reliable. Let's examine some common misconceptions about box support in drywall partitions. Firstly, there's the misconception that drywall anchors are sufficient for supporting electrical boxes. While drywall anchors can be useful for mounting lightweight items, they are not designed to support the weight and stress of an electrical box, especially when devices and wiring are installed. Over time, drywall anchors can loosen or pull out of the drywall, causing the box to become unstable. Secondly, there's the belief that using larger screws to attach the box to the stud will provide adequate support. While using larger screws may seem like a good idea, it can actually damage the box and the stud. The screws may strip the threads in the box or split the wood in the stud, weakening the connection. Thirdly, there's the assumption that if the box feels secure after installation, it is adequately supported. However, a box may feel secure initially, but it can loosen over time due to vibration, temperature changes, or other factors. It is important to use approved supports, such as far side supports, to ensure that the box remains securely mounted. Fourthly, there's the notion that if the box is only used for low voltage wiring, it does not need to be as securely supported. Even low voltage wiring can create stress in the box, especially if there are multiple wires or cables. It is important to support all electrical boxes properly, regardless of the voltage. Fifthly, there's the misunderstanding that if the box is recessed into the drywall, it does not need as much support. Even if the box is recessed, it still needs to be securely mounted to prevent it from being pushed into the wall cavity. The drywall can actually make it more difficult to access the box if it is not properly supported. By understanding these common misconceptions, you can avoid making mistakes when installing electrical boxes in drywall partitions and ensure that the electrical system is safe and reliable. Now, I will provide a summary of the key points regarding far side box support for 1900 boxes in drywall partitions. Firstly, far side box support is always required for 1900 boxes installed in drywall partitions according to the National Electrical Code. Secondly, Section 314.20 of the NEC mandates that boxes be securely fastened in place with approved supports. Thirdly, drywall alone is not considered adequate support for a 1900 box. Fourthly, the purpose of far side box support is to prevent the box from being pushed into the wall cavity when devices are inserted or removed. Fifthly, without proper support, the box can become loose and cause electrical problems such as loose connections, device instability, and grounding issues. Sixthly, various types of far side box supports are available, including adjustable, fixed, telescoping, plastic, and metal supports. Seventhly, when selecting a far side box support, consider the wall thickness, the weight of the devices and wiring, and the environmental conditions. Eighthly, follow the manufacturer's instructions and use the correct type and size of fasteners when installing far side box supports. 9. Other approved methods for mounting boxes and drywall partitions include using box mounting brackets that attach directly to the studs or using specialized drywall anchors designed to support the weight of the box. 10. Always turn off the power to the circuit before beginning any electrical work. By following these key points, you can ensure that 1900 boxes are securely mounted in drywall partitions and that the electrical system is safe, reliable, and compliant with the NEC. Let's address some frequently asked questions about far side box support. Firstly, what happens if I don't install far side box support? If you don't install far side box support, the box can become loose and cause electrical problems such as loose connections, device instability, and grounding issues. It can also create a safety hazard. Secondly, can I use drywall screws to attach the box to the stud? No, drywall screws are not designed to support the weight and stress of an electrical box. They can strip the threads in the box or split the wood in the stud, weakening the connection. Thirdly, can I use construction adhesive to glue the box to the drywall? No, construction adhesive is not a substitute for proper box support. It can dry out and crack over time, causing the box to become loose. Fourthly, how do I install far side box support in an existing wall? Installing far side box support in an existing wall can be challenging, but it is possible. You may need to cut a small hole in the drywall to access the stud or framing member. There are also specialized far side supports that can be installed without cutting the drywall. Fifthly, where can I buy far side box supports? Far side box supports are available at most hardware stores and electrical supply stores. You can also purchase them online. Sixthly, how much do far side box supports cost? The cost of far side box supports varies depending on the type and size. However, they are generally inexpensive, typically costing only a few dollars each. Seventhly, is it okay to use a nail instead of a screw to secure the far side support to the stud? It's generally recommended to use screws rather than nails for securing far side supports to studs. Screws provide a more secure and reliable connection compared to nails. Screws offer better holding power and are less likely to loosen over time due to vibrations or movement. When installing electrical components, it's crucial to ensure a stable and long-lasting connection for safety and code compliance. While nails might be quicker to install, they can be more prone to pulling out or bending, potentially compromising the support's effectiveness. Using screws ensures a more robust and durable attachment, contributing to the overall safety and reliability of the electrical installation. Eighthly, are there any situations where far side box support isn't required? While the NEC generally requires far side box support for 1900 boxes in drywall, there might be specific situations where exceptions could be considered, although these are rare and would need careful evaluation by a qualified electrical inspector. For instance, if the box is mounted directly to a solid structural element like a concrete wall or substantial wooden beam, and the mounting method provides equivalent support, a far side support might not be strictly necessary. However, it's essential to verify that the alternative mounting method provides sufficient stability and prevents the box from being pushed into the wall cavity. Another possible exception could be in very shallow walls where there isn't enough space to install a standard far side support. In such cases, alternative support methods like specialized brackets or mounting plates designed for shallow walls might be used, provided they offer adequate support. Remember, any deviation from the standard NEC requirement should be discussed with the local electrical inspector to ensure compliance and safety. It's always better to err on the side of caution and provide additional support if there is any doubt about the box's stability. By addressing these frequently asked questions, you can gain a better understanding of far side box support and how to properly install it. Finally, always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns about electrical work.